You think waking up at night is normal, but what if your bladder's trying to tell you something deeper? For millions over 60, nighttime trips to the bathroom aren't just annoying, they're dangerous. Today, we'll uncover 7 surprising triggers hiding in your daily routine, from hydration timing to a silent vitamin deficiency. And the last reason? Most doctors miss it. This could be the beginning of deeper sleep and deeper healing. Nocturia isn't just part of aging, it's a biological alarm bell. If you're waking more than once each night, your body may be struggling with fluid mismanagement, nerve fatigue, or hidden inflammation. But here's the good news. With a few small shifts in timing, food, and nutrients, your nights can change. Let's explore what's behind the urgency and how to quiet it. 1. Hydration timing. The 6 p.m. rule. Rosa, 71, used to drink most of her water in the evening. "I don't feel thirsty till dinner," she told me. But every night, like clockwork, she'd wake up at 1:30 a.m., tired, tense, and needing the bathroom. She thought it was just her age, but her timing was working against her bladder. Here's what was really happening inside Rosa's body, and maybe yours too. Your kidneys don't clock out when you lie down. They quietly filter fluids all night long. If you front-loaded them with water late in the day, your bladder becomes the midnight inbox, and eventually, it has to alert your brain to empty out. That's why you're waking up. A study by the Cleveland Clinic, 2019, showed that seniors who simply shifted their hydration earlier reduced nighttime urination by 58%, without drinking any less overall. Let me give you a picture. Imagine your bladder is like a quiet postal office. In the evening, it's meant to wind down. But late water intake? That's like dumping a full cart of packages at the door after closing time. Someone still has to process it. And that someone is your bladder. So, here's your gentle fix. Drink 70 to 80% of your water between 7 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. After 6 p.m., taper your intake. Sip, don't gulp. Taking evening meds? Use just enough water to swallow. Don't default to a full glass unless advised. If your mouth gets dry at night, try chewing on 2 to 3 cucumber slices or soaking half a teaspoon chia seeds in water earlier in the evening. Both hydrate gently without overloading your bladder. After just 3 to 5 days, Rosa noticed something shift. No more 1:30 a.m. alarm. She woke up at 6 a.m., rested, for the first time in months. What about you? Have you noticed if drinking later makes your sleep worse? Sometimes the change we need starts not with how much, but when. Now, what if the real reason you're waking up isn't what you drank, but how long you've been sitting? 2. Leg fluid trap. Why sitting hurts your sleep. It surprised Rosa. She didn't drink after dinner. She followed the timing rule. But still, every night around 2:45 a.m., the urge returned. Strong, urgent, undeniable. We look deeper. Here's what most seniors don't realize. When you sit for long hours during the day, especially with legs down, fluid starts to pool in your lower body. Ankles may swell slightly. You may not even notice. But the moment you lie down to sleep, gravity shifts. Those trapped fluids flow back into your bloodstream, get filtered by your kidneys, and suddenly, your bladder is full at the worst time. It's not just aging, it's fluid redistribution. And it's one of the most silent culprits of nocturia in older adults. A Cleveland Clinic study in 2019 confirmed this. Seniors with low mobility saw a 43% increase in nighttime urination, but those who added just 10 minutes of movement every 2 hours experienced dramatic improvements in sleep and fluid control. Let's visualize it. Think of your legs like sponges. Sitting compresses them. Fluid seeps down and collects. But when you recline, that fluid gets squeezed back into circulation, right into the bladder's path. So, what's the fix? Try this gentle rhythm. Every 2 hours, stand or walk for 5 to 10 minutes. Add light calf raises or ankle rolls while seated. Around 5 p.m., elevate your legs for 15 to 20 minutes. Pillows or a simple footrest work. Fine Rosa began elevating her legs before dinner, paired with small standing breaks during the day. Within 1 week, her 2:45 a.m. trips vanished. This isn't exercise, it's circulation hygiene, And for your bladder, it might be the missing link. Have you tried short leg breaks or elevation? What time of day do your legs feel heaviest? Now, let's talk about something even more invisible than sitting. A tiny mineral that might be hiding in your evening snack, quietly keeping your bladder on alert. 3. Salt sabotage. How sodium disrupts your bladder. Clock. Rosa didn't think a pinch of salt could do much harm. "It's just a few crackers before bed," she said with a shrug. But those innocent snacks were quietly working against her, hour after hour, long after she'd closed her eyes. Here's why. Salt doesn't just make you thirsty. It changes how your body handles fluid. When sodium levels rise, your system holds onto water to maintain balance. But during sleep, that stored fluid gets released, and your kidneys scramble to clear it out. The result? A full bladder at 3 a.m. A clinical trial from the University of Nagasaki, 2017, found that when seniors reduced their daily salt intake by 25%, their nighttime bathroom visits dropped by over 35%. Not because they drank less, but because their body finally stopped chasing balance all night long. Think of salt like a hidden conductor, quietly dictating your body's water symphony. Too much, and the music turns chaotic. The bladder plays louder than it should. So, what's the soft fix? Start by looking at evening patterns. Skip salty snacks after 5 p.m., chips, crackers, salted nuts. Check labels. Even healthy soups or sauces may have 500 to 800 milligrams per serving. If you crave something savory, try lightly steamed edamame or a boiled egg with herbs, not salt. One surprising trick Rosa used? She replaced her 8 p.m. snack with a small cup of warm, miso-free broth, low sodium, deeply comforting. Within days, her body stopped pushing fluid to her bladder at night. Salt isn't evil, but the timing matters more than most of us think. So, let me ask, what's your go-to snack before bed? Could it be whispering to your kidneys all night? Now, let's uncover something even sneakier. Sugar. It doesn't just affect your waistline, it might be quietly overstimulating your bladder every time you close your eyes. 4. Sugar. Before bed. The hidden irritant. For weeks, Rosa had swapped her salty snacks for a healthy evening treat, half a banana and a small cookie, but her sleep didn't improve. She still woke at 4 a.m., restless and full-bladdered. That's when we look closer, at sugar. Here's what most don't realize. Even small amounts of sugar at night can quietly stimulate your bladder. It's not just about blood sugar, it's about irritation. When sugar hits your system late in the day, especially refined sugars, it can increase urine production, raise blood glucose, and trigger osmotic diuresis, your kidneys pulling extra water into urine. Irritate the bladder lining, especially in older adults with subtle inflammation. In short, your body goes into flush mode just when you need stillness. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors with pre-diabetic glucose levels experienced a 22% increase in nighttime urination episodes, even if they didn't eat large quantities. It's the timing that matters. Picture this. Your bladder lining is like a velvet curtain. Sugar, especially at night, acts like sandpaper, subtle, invisible, but constant. Over time, it makes the bladder more reactive, more sensitive, more urgent. So, what's the gentle shift? Avoid sugary foods after 7 p.m., including sweetened yogurts, pastries, even fruit juices. If you need something small, try half-boiled egg, a spoon of plain Greek yogurt with cinnamon. Or Rosa's favorite, 3 almonds and a chamomile tea. After just 4 days on this reset, Rosa's 4 a.m. wake-up, gone. She described the feeling as a softness I forgot sleep could have. Have you ever noticed sugar disrupting your rest, not just your weight or energy? Could your evening treat be stealing your night? Up next, the most overlooked disruptor, your medication timing. Even the right pill, at the wrong time, can undo your sleep entirely. 5. Medications timing. Why evening? Pills may be the culprit. Rosa was diligent. Every night, around 8:30, she'd take her blood pressure pill and her water pill, then sip a glass of water, turn off the light, and hope for rest. But by 1:15 a.m., she was up again. And again at 4 o'clock. It wasn't her habits, it was her medication timing. Here's what's often missed. Many medications, especially diuretics and certain beta blockers, don't just support your body. They also change when your body processes fluid. Diuretics, or water pills, help reduce fluid retention, but if taken late in the day, they trigger active bladder emptying during sleep. Your kidneys are stimulated to flush, right when the rest of your system is trying to slow down. Even non-diuretic blood pressure meds can influence bladder function by shifting renal blood flow and impacting bladder nerve signaling. According to a study from Mayo Clinic, 2018, over 40% of nocturia cases in seniors were linked not to disease, but to the timing of antihypertensive and diuretic use. Imagine this. Your body is preparing for rest, but the moment you swallow that evening pill, it's like pressing the start button on your kidneys. The result? Disrupted sleep, fragmented dreams, and a body that never fully powers down. So, how can you restore peace? Review medication timing with your physician. Many diuretics are safely shifted to early morning or lunchtime. For necessary evening meds, ask if a slow-release option exists. Reduce water volume used to swallow pills. Just enough to help them go down, Rosa's doctor adjusted her schedule. She took her water pill with breakfast. Within a week, her nights quieted. And for the first time in years, she said, "My dreams are returning. Do you take any pills after dinner? Could the help they offer during the day be robbing you at night?" Coming up, the silent vitamin deficiency that weakens your bladder's muscle tone, and how correcting it helps you hold through the night again. 6. Vitamin D and bladder muscle. Weakness Rosa felt like she was doing everything right. Hydration timing, no salt, no sugar. Even her meds had been adjusted. But one thing still lingered, her urgency. She could hold it less. The moment she felt the need, she had minutes, sometimes seconds. That's when we looked at something deeper. Her vitamin D levels. Most people know D supports bones and immunity, but few realize its role in the bladder. Turns out, your bladder has muscle walls, just like your heart. And those muscles depend on calcium signaling to contract and relax smoothly. Without enough vitamin D, that signaling weakens. The University of Alabama, 2016, published a study showing that seniors with low vitamin D were 52% more likely to experience symptoms of bladder overactivity, urgency, leakage, and frequent nighttime urination. In other words, your bladder might be healthy, but underpowered. Let's use a metaphor. Think of your bladder as a drawbridge. Vitamin D doesn't just build the bridge, it controls the winch. Without enough D, the gears jam. And when the urge hits, the bridge can't hold long. So, how do you restore this control? Get your vitamin D levels tested. The ideal range, 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter. If low, start with 1,000 to 2,000 international units per day, ideally in the morning with fat, like avocado or eggs. Natural sources, salmon, egg yolks, fortified milk, and 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun. If your skin allows, Rosa added a 2,000 IU-D3 supplement with breakfast and walked outside after lunch. Within 3 weeks, her urgency softened. She still needed the bathroom, but could wait. Her confidence returned. Have you checked your vitamin D lately? The strength you're missing at night might begin in the morning sun. And now, for the final piece, when your bladder's nerves are misfiring, not from habit, but from aging, and how to help them speak clearly again. 7. Overactive bladder. When the nerve signals misfire, Rosa had come far. Her sleep was deeper. Her urgency had faded. But once or twice a week, the old pattern returned. Sudden need, no clear reason. That's when I explained something few doctors talk about. Sometimes the bladder isn't the problem. It's the nerves talking to it. As we age, the communication between the brain and bladder can become jittery. Tiny nerves that once whispered, "We're filling up, gently now," start shouting, "Go! Now!" This is called overactive bladder. and it's often due to nerve hypersensitivity, a subtle loss of control in the signaling pathway, not the bladder itself. A 2014 study from Stanford University found that older adults with no structural bladder issues but persistent urgency showed delayed or scrambled nerve signals between the sacral spine and bladder wall. Think of it like a phone line with static. Messages still come through, but they're distorted, urgent, incomplete. So, how do you soothe these signals? Here's the gentle path Dr. Hartley suggests. Magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams at night, can calm nerve firing, safe and senior tolerant. Bladder, calming herbs like corn silk, pumpkin seed extract, or valerian root may reduce urgency. Bladder retraining, delay urination by 5 minutes each time the urge hits. Gently lengthening response, time Rosa added magnesium glycinate at bedtime and practiced gentle delay. By week 2, her bladder became quieter. She said, "It's like my body is learning to trust itself again." Have you ever felt like your bladder was jumping the gun, responding too fast, too loud, too often? Sometimes the healing isn't in the muscles or the diet. It's in helping the nervous system feel safe again. And now that you've uncovered all 7 healing levers, let's take a moment to reflect on rest, rhythm, and reclaiming your nights. You've just walked through 7 reasons your nights have felt fragmented. Not because you're broken, but because your body, quietly, consistently, has been asking for rhythm, softness, and rest. For Rosa, each change felt small. A glass of water shifted, a pill rescheduled, a walk before dinner. But those moments, gently layered, gave her back what she thought she had lost: the ability to sleep through the night and wake with stillness. If you've ever felt tired before the day begins, if you've woken up and wondered where your strength went, please know this: your body still remembers how to rest. Healing doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's in the silence between 2 a.m. and 6. It's in the decision to notice, to pause, to try one small shift. You've already started. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the one shift you'll try this week? Share below. You may unlock healing for someone else. And if this video helped you feel seen, supported, or simply less alone, consider joining our circle. Subscribe so you don't miss the next step on your journey. Together, we reclaim the night.